So I'm cleaning the gear selector shaft and the fork that you shift the gears with. It was cruddy, as you saw before. I got a couple more pieces I want to clean. This is done. Okay, folks, so you saw what I was doing, cleaning up this. This is all the stuff that is part of the gear shifting of the transmission. And so this gear here, it lays down like this. Turn it this way. And then this fork goes over this like this. If you can see that. My hand is probably right in the way. It just goes over that in between those two gears. And so Matt the Scrap Whisperer had said just a little while ago on one of my videos, he says, I can't believe with all that grease that's inside there that would be seized up. And I agree. However, there is more to it than just the grease problem. For one, this is all at the top of the transmission. And so the grease that's at the top of the transmission is hard and flaky. What was on this that you saw me washing off over there in the parts tank was hard and flaky. I soaked it overnight in Super Clean and then used the parts tank to scrub it off and get it good and clean. What was causing it to be seized up is two things. One, there's corrosion. You can't hardly see it. There's not a lot, but those brown dark spots, that's corrosion on this gear selector shaft. And also on this gear selector shaft, let me put this through. So well, I did that backwards. Hang on. Pull that back out. So this side faces towards the inside of the transmission. And then this goes in like this. And if you recall, when I had this mounted in the vise, this gear selector shaft was driven all the way up to about right there, barely sticking out the end of this fork. And it was seized up in there. And when you mic this or use your calipers, the end over here is almost 4 thousandths thicker than the rest of this shaft. So it's not supposed to come up this far. And inside there, inside this piece here is a spring, which is right here. There's a little bitty spring. And this little tiny, you can't see it probably. Try to move it over here though. So this right here is a little check ball. And that sits inside this. Well, what happened where this is thicker and it got jammed over to this side, that check ball, the spring was causing that check ball to put so much pressure on this, and then mixed with the corrosion, it froze at this end. This actually should have been, or the way it should be, is about right there. That's as far over as it's supposed to go inside, you know, as it's operating. So I got to soak this in some evaporust, get all this corrosion off of here, and then buff this thing out really good, clean the inside of this fork out really well, clean up this spring and that check ball. And the problem is I cannot find my gallon of evaporust. It is somewhere here and it has evaporated to where I cannot find it. I've been through both my storage in the house and out here in the driveway and inside this shop. It's nowhere to be seen. Anyway, so with this, as you shift the gears, this will slide back and forth, and then when you push the lever or the shifter on the handlebars, this is what slides, this piece here, and then it will move this into that gear you want it at, whether it be forward, neutral, or reverse. And then this part, which is splined at this one end, comes out to the outside of the transmission. Let me get this slid in here. This is going to need some filing and cleaning too. So with this, once you push it into gear, it's still not going to take off until you push that lever down. And this spline out here, this pulley, has the belt on it. And once you push that lever down, it puts tension on the belt that goes around that pulley. And then that will engage this for this to go forward, reverse, whatever gear you have it in. But anyway, that is explanation on all of this that I'm working on. The next part of this video, let me get the camera turned around and I'll show you what I'm working on. Oh yeah, one other thing I want to show you about this piece. See how it has this indentation in the side of it right here? Well, on this gear shifter arm is a nub that sticks out, and that rides along this, which on the outside, that's part of your shifter right there. The one thing I did wrong when taking this apart is I should have taken it apart in the opposite direction to where everything was still inside this casing and that piece of the casing over there versus this way. So that's one thing I'm going to do off camera is actually, after I clean up a bunch of this grease out of here, I'm going to put these back together, fasten the gears back into this and that piece, and then pull the other section off, because that's the way it has to go back together in order for me to line this up with that. You know, hindsight's 20/20. My first time doing this. But anyway, So let me move the camera again. Yeah, it's getting warm in here. I had to open the door. So if you watched my 2-minute shorts video, you'd seen that I got this all freed up now. So this is your shaft that the front wheels go on, and this would be going forward by me turning it this way, and then this in reverse. And then this is where your tillers go. And this would be reverse. And if you notice, just that gear up there is moving. It's because it's not shifted into gear. I don't have those parts in here yet. But what I'm going to do before I put that other half of the case back on is I'm going to go ahead and degrease all of this side plus both of those pans that go back on to cover all of this. Then I'm going to put it together and pull it back apart to where this half comes off. This way, when it all goes back together for the final assembly, it'll go back together the right way. But I wanted to show you if it'll, like this little bit of grease right here. It doesn't look like it. Let me find where I'm at on this thing. That's actually really dried up grease that needs replaced. So I got to get all that out. That was at the top where the shifter parts go that I'm working on, getting freed up and cleaned and ready to go back in. But yeah, we are moving along on this. I don't want this to take a long period of time. I was going to go all gung-ho and pull this thing out one gear at a time and one chain at a time and just thoroughly clean everything. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to clean up all this old grease that I can and then repack it with all brand new grease. The selector gear or the selector shaft and those gears and that fork, all of that's going to get treated with anti-seize. Plus, I'm going to use some AMS oil, non-corrosion grease for just that part of it. Well, I'll probably coat the whole thing with that. Yeah, we're moving right along on this. But Matt, I hope that answered your question about you couldn't believe that with all that grease there that it seized up. Well, it was more than one thing. Hang on, I'm gonna move this camera again. With that sun beaming through the door, you really can't see a whole lot what I'm gonna show you. But if you look here, you got a threaded rod, and then another one here. So when I put those case covers back on, I'll put the washer and nut back on these and then pull the nut and washers off of the back side that holds the other end of this together. And then this side I can pull off and it'll be reversed the way it's supposed to be when you reassemble it. But anyway, so right up in here is where the gear selector thing is. There it goes anyway. See, there's some grease there. It's so hardened against the case. I can't really, I mean, I'm going to have to really use a chisel or something. But yeah, all of this, it just needs to come out of there. Where are we at? It's just nasty. But anyway. All right, guys, that does it for this one. Hope you enjoyed. If you have any tricks and tips you want to share, I'm open to them. This is my first rodeo on one of these, so I am open to suggestions and help. But before we go, actually, there's one other thing I want to talk about. All right, so you guys know I've been doing little short videos, 4, 5, 6 minute videos leading up to May 13th. And I didn't do one on the 6th. I don't know, for me it just started becoming mundane doing those. So I'm not going to do those the rest of the way out to the 13th. And I'm going to focus on the, I don't know if you'd call it a documentary. It's just basically I'm going to put some stuff together that with my own words and other people's words. Um, and a lot of the news articles, you're going to see clips of that. And for disclaimer purposes, if you have a weak stomach, you might want to skip this documentary because there's going to be some pictures of me laying in a hospital bed on the day of the accident. You won't be able to tell it's me, but if you look close enough at the card they're holding in the picture, it has my name with the date um, on that card. But yeah, all right, that's it. I'll talk to you guys soon. We've got rain until Sunday, and we'll have a nice day Monday. So I'll probably be out here in the shop working a lot on this transmission. I picked up some gasoline today for the pressure washer, and I think either tonight or tomorrow I'm going to drag that out and set it up right outside the shop door, run the water hose, have it all ready to go. And when I'm ready for it and I clear all this hardware and pieces off of this and these tools off of this dolly cart, I can just roll it right out the shop door with the transmission on there and pressure wash all of this off and then roll it right back in and then air dry it with the air hose. But Charlie, I wanted to let you know that lift thing that you gave to me, I hooked it up to a battery, 12-volt battery yesterday, and it does not work. So I appreciate you giving it to me. That would have been real handy. I am going to get there's a tag on it. I'm going to get the information and just see maybe those little electric motors don't cost that much. If they don't, I may just buy one, because I tell you that thing would be real handy to have for anyone, whether you got one arm or two arms. But it's one of those lifts that you mount in the back of a van or a pickup truck to pick those electric scooters up with and put it into the bed of your truck or your van. They're rated at 600 pounds. So, y'all, that would be handy. All right. Hope you guys are enjoying my dad jokes that I'm doing in my shorts feed. If you haven't been watching them, please go check them out. You're going to get a good chuckle. Or you might roll your eyes like Big Charlie does and Ed does from Ed Goslin Farms. But it's just for fun. I enjoy doing it, and I like that you guys are laughing and getting some enjoyment out of it. But yeah, that's my new thing. All right, take care. God bless. Love you. Bye.